Hi, I'm Greg with German-Bliss Equipment, your online parts supplier for a variety of different lines. Today I want to talk to you about aftermarket versus OEM. Now, OEM stands for Original Equipment Manufacturer. One of the things that we run into regularly in the parts business is people obviously want to save money. I'm just like you. I want to save money when I buy a product. But what I want to end up in reality is I wanted the best value possible. So today I want to talk to you about Paladin brands. Now, Paladin brands is made up of about 6 different suppliers that we provide for you. It's Harley, power rake parts, Sweepster brooms, Bradco trenchers and mowers, FFC, Macmillan post hole diggers, and Kodiak, which is a new product line for us that makes a variety of lower cost economy type mowers and attachments for tractors. Today, though, I want to make sure that it's clear that OEM and aftermarket, just because they have the same part number, doesn't mean they're the same quality. Now, a few months ago, we had a vendor come into our operation and wanted to sell us aftermarket parts to remarket to people like you. We asked him and said, hey, show us your blade that's the same as this OEM blade right here. And he said, sure, I've got one of those with me. He went out to his vehicle, brought it back in, and yes, it was the same length. The hole where you mounted onto the blade carrier was the same size. But when you put them side by side, it wasn't the same blade. The blade was thinner, it was narrower. I have no idea if the quality of the steel was the same. So it's really important that when you are buying OEM parts and trying to save some dollars, and you're looking at aftermarket as a solution, that you make sure you do have apples for apples. And I understand that's really hard to do when you're the consumer and you haven't got the parts in front of you. That's our job. We've been in the business for providing tractors and equipment for your construction, agricultural needs for 80 years. German-Bliss is here to serve you. We're one of the largest online part suppliers that there are. Today I want to talk to you about Paladin. And so those lines I mentioned earlier, Harley, Bradco, Sweepster, FFC, Macmillan, and Kodiak. Here's an example of a Harley power rake bearing and support for it. This bearing is down in the dirt. It's working hard all day long. You're out there, moving dirt with your Harley rake. We have people that when they see the price on this particular bearing and the bearing holder, they're like, wow, that's a lot of money. Well, it is a lot of money from the standpoint for what it does for you, what your investment's going to be. But the value of this bearing, which was engineered to the manufacturer's specs, so that when you go out and put this bearing and bearing holder onto your machine, guess what? It's going to fit. And guess what? You're going to get many, many hours of high production use because you use this bearing versus maybe some other cheaper bearing that's out there on the market. We sell a lot of Sweepster brushes. I mean a lot of these. We ship them all across North America for end users like yourself. There are other companies on the web, you can probably find them, that also sell aftermarket replacement brushes. The issue with that is that they are not made the same. The material on the fibers may be thinner. This holder, where all of these sweeper teeth basically are embedded in this, it holds in there well. I mean, this is going up against concrete and rock and other surfaces, and it takes a lot of wear and a lot of torque against this replacement brush. If this is not done properly, it's going to fail at a much earlier pace. So maybe that 5 or 10 or 15% you saved on the front end is going to cost you a lot more on the back end. Another example, here's something as simple as an oil seal. People will say, well, oil seal is an oil seal. Well, it is until it fails. So this is one off of a Macmillan post hole digger. You can imagine that seal is down in garbage all day long, every day. But Macmillan made this seal, or had this seal made for them, that met their specs. You can imagine high pressure with high tolerance, okay? If you've got a seal that maybe wasn't built for the purpose that you're doing, and the tolerance is not quite right, guess what's going to happen? It's called oil bypass, and you've got a mess on your hands. Roller chain for our Harley rake. This is a very popular item for us to have from a replacement standpoint. This is where all the torque and all the work is happening. It's those gears, sprockets that are driving this, that ultimately are driving your Harley rake. The issue happens that these will stretch over time, and guess what? When you're out working your Harley rake, very, very difficult conditions, it's getting pounded and pounded and pounded, and over time this thing stretches. But we keep replacement chains on hand. Guess what? They're not alike. We've tried to provide aftermarket chains before. They just don't hold up. And if you're the guy on the job site when this thing fails on a Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock, guess what? You're probably going to be there until the next day not getting quality work done because you had the wrong chain on there that just didn't hold up. Here's a hydraulic cylinder off of an FFC attachment, off of a blade. Great quality cylinder that was built to the manufacturer's specs. It's got the right stroke. It's got the right material that was used in here. Can handle the pressures of your machine. Are there aftermarket cylinders you can use? There sure are. Are they going to be exact what this is? Who knows? So I close today in saying that all things are not created equal. German-Bliss does our best to provide the best quality parts for you at a very good value. We provide quick turnaround, quick shipping at a very fair price, because we know that when our customers are out on the job site, we don't want their machines to fail. We want to make sure that you are being productive day in and day out. So if you have questions, you can call us on our parts hotline, or you can go to German-Bliss.com and click on the parts button, and somebody will be there to either help you on chat, text, email, or phone call. However you want to reach us, we're here. Thank you very much. You can't miss with German-Bliss.